Good day to everyone. Today we're going to have a new topic, Unit 3, Making Websites Interactive. So what are the lessons we have under Unit 3? So we have facts and features of JavaScript, basics of JavaScript, JavaScript conditional and loop statements, manipulating JavaScript strings and arrays, JavaScript pop-up boxes and events, and using predefined and creating user-defined functions in JavaScript. Now we're going to start in lesson 1, facts and features of JavaScript. So under this, we have objectives. The students shall be able to define JavaScript, define difference between Java and JavaScript, then recognize what JavaScript is, facts about JavaScript, differentiate JavaScript and other programming languages, and classify the importance of JavaScript. So that's our objectives in lesson 1. Now, what really is JavaScript? So let's compare Java and JavaScript. So what are the difference? Actually, when it comes to Java and JavaScript, they are both open-oriented programming, or in other words, we called it OOP. They have encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. But the real difference is, or the only difference between the two is that Java is a standalone. You can run Java without any dependence. Unlike JavaScript, it needs HTML to be uh, uh, executed. It needs a browser to be executed the output. No? It should be inside HTML document file to run in a browser. So JavaScript is either scripting or programming language that allows the users to implement simple structure on web pages. It makes a web page interactive. It is the reason why we have what we call animation on a web page. We can animate buttons, we can validate inputs using JavaScript. In a web page or in web development, we can compare a web page in a cake or a pancake, whereas it has three layers. The first layer is the HTML. It is what we see. It is what is displayed in a web page, and CSS is the second layer. It gives design. It provides design on a web page. It gives colors. It gives images, backgrounds on a web page. And the third is the JavaScript. The JavaScript is not literally visible on a web page, although it makes the web page interactive. Using JavaScript, we can animate a button. We can create validation on a form. JavaScript is JavaScript is established in 1995 by Brendan Eich at Netscape Communications Corporation. It took average web developers to adapt to JavaScript. Before JavaScript, before JavaScript, we call literally as its name JavaScript. It was first called Mocha. Then briefly, it was changed in LiveScript, and it finally changed into JavaScript as we called it today. Netscape announced in November 2016 that they had submitted JavaScript to ECMA, a private international non-profit standard organization that carries significant influence in the technology and communications industries. And that's the summary of the history, how JavaScript was developed and evolved through years. Then we are going to discuss the features of JavaScript. When it comes to features, we have uh, 10. The first one is object-oriented script language, or in other words, we called it OOP, or object-oriented programming. It is also client-edge technology, validation of users' input, else and if statement, interpreter-centered, ability to perform, case-sensitive format, lightweight and delicate, statement looping, and handling events. So that's are the features of JavaScript. When we say object-centered script language, we are talking about object. When we use JavaScript, it's like we are creating an object that provides what we discussed earlier, features of like polymorphism, um, um, abstraction, inheritance. So what are that's are the features of what we call object-centered script language, or object-oriented script language. Then we have the second feature. It is the client edge technology. So when we say client edge, JavaScript is executed through a browser, or what we called the client. Through browser, the users can navigate on a web page, and the JavaScript is executed. So it is part of what we call user web page interaction. The users can interact through to a web page using JavaScript, so easily. Then we have the third, validation of users input. Using JavaScript, we can provide validation, some sort of security, where a user can log in or register via form. Then JavaScript have its logical operations like if else if else statement, and switch. Same as Java, same as in Java. Then we have the interpreter centered. It means that the user can run the program of JavaScript without any compiler. Unlike Java, it requires compiler to be executed. Java is Java doesn't need any compiler. All it needs is HTML file and browser. Then ability to perform inbuilt function. So when it comes to JavaScript, we can use any functions it provides that we can insert as an attribute or value in an HTML tags. We can also use it in a separate file like in JavaScript file. This inbuilt functions is the most efficient way to gather data on a browser. Case sensitive. JavaScript is also a case sensitive when it comes to programming, and JavaScript is lightweight and delicate. So when we say lightweight and delicate, when it comes to variables, all you need is use a var, for example, to declare a variable. So you don't need any data type to declare a variable. Unlike JavaScript, you need data types to identify what data type or what data should uh, that variable holds. In JavaScript, all you need is declare a variable, and JavaScript will automatically identify what data type of a variable it is holding, or what value of that variable. And we have looping statement. So when it comes to looping statement, we have while, do while, for each, for, that are the statement we use to perform repetitive operations in JavaScript. Then we have handling events. So when it comes to handling events, it identifies the data a user enters on a form on the web page. A user click a button on a web page, or a user um, access a link on a web page. So that are the events handled by a JavaScript. And just like I said before, JavaScript can be inserted as an attribute or on a separate JavaScript file. And that are the features of JavaScript. And before we end this lesson, um, just a short a short trailer of our next topic on lesson 2. So we're going to discuss JavaScript basics, and that's all we have in lesson 1. See you on our next lesson. So just subscribe and ring a bell for updates.